Part 1. White Clouds. Lone Moon. To war. Together, the people of Fodlan relish the beauty of the brilliant moon overhead as another year ends. They recall sad partings and new acquaintances alike, but each person must still walk their chosen path alone. With each day, the presence of spring grows stronger, and yet a lone moon still haunts the sky, a silent reminder perhaps of some inescapable truth.
Unforgivable! I cannot fathom that the Adrestian Empire would embark on such a violent course of action.
The fault is my own. I failed to see the wickedness within Edelgard's heart.
Is she wicked?
She plotted with ill-meaning strangers to achieve her own ambitions and defiled the Holy Tomb. If that is not wicked, what is? Or perhaps her ambitions are even grander than we know. Perhaps she is planning to make herself a false deity by demonizing the Church of Seros.
Adrestia received its very name through a divine oracle. To injure the goddess is a sin most foul that shall not be forgiven, nor forgotten. We must stop the Empire, and quickly.
I have returned, Rhea.
Welcome back, Shamir. Were you able to discern the Empire's movements?
Their main troops are marching towards Garreg Mach. It is said that they will join forces with Edelgard's army and arrive within 2 weeks.
2 weeks? That is not enough time. It will require all of our efforts just to prepare our defenses before then. We must send notice to all surrounding villages at once. We must order the residents of Garreg Mach to flee for their lives.
It will be done.
Professor, listen closely. If our enemy invades the monastery, I will have no choice but to stand upon the battlefield. If something happens to me, I am entrusting my sacred duties to you.
Why me?
You must have guessed it by now. The truth of who you are. Or perhaps I should say, your lost memories are surely beginning to return. I have acted all these long years as a mere proxy for you. But the duty is yours, and yours alone. Only you can lead the people of Fodlan.
That didn't tell me anything.
Rhea, please. You must tell me all that you know. I beg of you. That one is the progenitor god. Am I correct?
In a sense. Our dear professor is a vessel. One who carries the power of the progenitor god within. In time, the vessel will become one with the power contained within, and the progenitor god shall return to this world.
I see. I trust that you are aware of the questionable nature of this experiment. But I suppose there is no turning back.
I ask that you help our friend. And in doing so, help her. I am waiting and hoping for the moment when our Creator rules this wayward land once more.
I understand. As ever, I will take you at your word.
Lady Rhea, brother, I will do my part as well.
Flayn, were you eavesdropping? Regardless, I am glad to hear it. You owe your life to the Professor after all. And in the end, they may prove to be our brethren.
You have my gratitude, Seteth. And you as well, Flayn. As followers of the progenitor god, it is up to us to see our mission through.
Flayn, what's that you're hiding?
Oh no, no! My surprise is spoiled. I had brought some fruits for you to cut up in addition to the firewood. I thought some variation might prove amusing.
No, I'm not doing that again. I've got better uses for my sword than chopping up fruit and firewood.
But it'll make you a better swordsman.
I cannot imagine what could be better than chopping fruit.
Chopping up my enemies.
It's not as delicious, though.
You say that as though you have many enemies. So you would rather chop people than firewood. Is that it?
That's not how I put it, but a blade's purpose is to kill.
Maybe you can make people out of wood.
To chop wood, use an axe. To chop food, use a knife. It's simple.
Surely it is not forbidden to use your sword for other things, like chopping fruit. Swords that cut inanimate objects are serving a much finer purpose than those that cut living beings.
What a noble sentiment. But without a blade to cut down your enemies, you cannot win.
You can use your fists.
Those who are weak lose everything and they die. Those who are strong win and live on. I understand why you balk at bloodshed, but you must know that it has a purpose.
And what purpose might that be?
A purpose. Let's just leave it at that. I'm not in the mood to debate you. I'll continue to wield my sword, and if necessary, cut down my enemies.
He certainly is a stubborn one.
Hey there, Flayn. I thought I'd drop by and see if you'd care for a...
Now, just a moment, Sylvain. If you must speak with me, I implore you to do so from where you stand. My apologies if this comes across as rude, but please do not come any closer to me.
Excuse me?
I am sorry. My brother has explicitly warned me not to go near you.
Sedith said that? I bet he also told you any woman who comes too close to me is, how does he say it? Doomed to misfortune?
He used those very words! Is it true then?
Come on. He's just messing with you, obviously.
Of course I would prefer to believe that, but one can never know for certain. Particularly when similar stories are constantly in circulation about you. I have heard that men and women alike have been seduced by your nefarious ways.
Men and women.
I hate to suggest my talents are being oversold, but...
I have heard that you toy with people's emotions, like a cat toys with its prey.
Do I really look like such a villain to you?
Well, perhaps not. You do not strike me as much of a charmer.
When you put it like that, I feel like I should defend... Yeah, forget it. Let's get to the actual point.
Did I not tell you, Sylvain? Stay away from me.
It's kind of awkward talking from so far away. Can I please step just a little?
Truly, there are countless terrible stories of your behavior. I've heard that you panic when there aren't women around to flirt with, that you've gone as far as flirting with horses and even chickens.
Oh, come on! Who would even... You should know that your brother has an overactive imagination.
I would like to believe that you are a sincere and reputable person, Sylvain. But there is no smoke without fire. Or so the saying goes.
I may not be the most respectable fellow you'll ever meet, but...
Until I can be certain, please refrain from coming too close to me. Now, if you will excuse me, I must be on my way.
Flayn, wait! Come back! And she's gone. All I was trying to do was deliver a message. Flayn, hey! The professor said we need to come to the cathedral! I'll run really far ahead so you don't have to walk near me! There, I tried telling her. The professor can't be mad about that.
I mean, you did tell her. From very far away. That'll be pretty interesting. That's a pretty interesting support conversation. Pretty interesting one.
So full. That fruit plate really hit the spot. Time to get nice and snug. Maybe do some sewing.
Hey, you Bernadetta. You look pretty happy. Celebrating something?
What? No, nothing at all.
Hey, relax. It's okay if you'd rather not tell me. By the way, I believe you left something in the library. A half-written manuscript? Your own work, I presume? I was curious who it belonged to and gave it a read-through. You're a really talented writer. I'm sorry. I peeked at the first page, then the next, and I couldn't stop. I think it's good enough to publish. It's the kind of adventure story that will make people laugh and cry. I love how you never know what mess the hero is going to get herself into next. I'm dying to read more.
I bet that was a diary or something.
Your mouth's hanging wide open. Bernadetta, are you okay?
Sorry, was someone talking about a story?
Yes, that would be me. I read your book.
You read my book?
Yeah, and I loved it.
I'm so humiliated. Please forget everything you read.
Humiliated? No, I think the word you're looking for is humbled, because... And she's gone. Now, what do I do with this book?
Oh, he actually read it. I regret everything. Even if I burn the pages, I can't burn his memory. Not unless I throw him in the fire, too. No, that's awful. Don't think things like that, Bernie.
My two favorite characters. With my favorite support yet. Oh man, okay. So is this the one? Because I'm pretty sure these are the quests that I still have to do. So it's just this one.
We must protect Garreg Mach. Defiling the Holy Tomb was a sacrilege. I will not allow such a thing to happen again. The Archbishop has already given you a new responsibility. I want you to rise to that honor. I have something to ask of you.
We've been scanning the makeup of the Imperial armor, but much is still unclear. Any information you could provide will be a great help. So they'll find the Knight of Saros. Hopefully I can freaking find that. Okay, so if you don't know, I probably haven't even shown it yet. Let's see. Seteth has joined us. We don't know his age, but that's fine. He has joined our cause.
The Holy Tomb held many crest stones. This is the first time I've heard of crest stones being hidden away in such a place. But more importantly, I'm interested to know the Empire's aim. Why would their army desire crest stones? There is power there, yes. And yet, I must think on this. The crest stones lie at the heart of the events surrounding Conan Tower and the chapel as well. And of course, the crest stones somehow transform those traitors and their captives into demonic beasts. Could that possibly be their aim? The Empire's army may well plan to use crest stones to create demonic beasts.
Like, they're not going to be a problem. We took care of them pretty easily in the last battle.
To think Edelgard was somehow connected to the captain's murderer. Well, perhaps it's pointless to get upset about the past. My duty now is to prepare for battle. We're depending on your strength, Professor. Crush our enemies.
I'm depending on you.
Captain, I hope you're watching. We will protect Garrick Mach.
Excuse me. How are you, Professor? Any new changes to report? With the Imperial Army drawing near, it is most vexing that we cannot relax and converse as we once did. Thankfully, you have the divine protection of the goddess on your side. Please try to listen carefully for her voice.
I will try.
May the goddess's voice reach you.
Eh. I mean, it doesn't matter at this point because I can't continue. I can't even start her support conversation.
The mastermind behind the attacks on the monastery was Edelgard? Wow. Doesn't make much sense though, does it? There would need to be all sorts of territories and groups tangled up in this sort of mess. I'm gonna stop. I don't really have the head for this political stuff. Mostly I'm worried about my old opera company. I wonder what's happening in the capital right now. I hope they're safe.
I hope they're safe too. I might as well.
Practice yields results.
So Edelgard, the one who calls herself the Flame Emperor, was connected to those strange beings. The Imperial Army might be using even more terrifying methods than we know. You had better be cautious, Professor. Any amount of carelessness might prove to be our undoing.
Oh no. I've known His Highness since I was a child, but I've never seen that side of him before. He seemed like a completely different person than the one I know.
It's like, how does Felix know that side of him? But she doesn't.
What does war with Edelgard mean for us, Professor? And why does she even want that?
I don't know.
Yeah, I guess we'd have to ask her. That's how it always goes, I guess. You never realize something can't be undone until you've done it.
Gotta check our harvest. Rocky Burdock. Yeah, all the other stuff that I don't even use. Oh.
Pardon me.
What's up?
Greetings, Professor. Something to report. Unexpected, isn't it? Apparently, this is the first time Garrick Mach has been invaded in its whole 995-year history. It's my job to protect this gate, so even if enemies come in droves, I will never let them through.
I expect you to be the last one standing.
I hope we both survive. Let's battle with all our might and pray we win this thing.
You know, Professor, I'm glad that I came to the Officers' Academy. I feel accepted here. I've learned so much. Honestly, I'm surprised at how much I've grown. So, I will not let the Academy be destroyed. It's important to me, and I will protect it.
I feel the same.
I feel braver just hearing you say that, Professor. We're gonna win this, Professor.
We will. For Narnia. Because that makes sense.
I cannot believe our negligence allowed the Empire to invade. Edelgard probably gathered her soldiers in Garrick Mach, intending to do this from the start. Soldiers disguised as merchants and pilgrims to avoid suspicion, infiltrating the entire area little by little. They couldn't be better prepared. We'll have a tough time winning this one, I'm afraid.
most important nobles in the Empire are known for taking power from the previous emperor, my father included. I didn't think it possible that the Imperial Princess could ascend the throne so easily. However, it seems that both my father and Caspar's are supporting Edelgard. Having both the Minister of Domestic Affairs and Minister of Military Affairs on your side gives you total control over the Empire's military and finances. You must have been making preparations for quite some time without anyone noticing.
I hear the Alliance's territory will be in danger if we don't get rid of these Empire guys. If the Alliance is in danger, that means my sister's in danger too. There's no way I'm gonna allow that. It doesn't matter how many guys they throw at us. I'll beat them all. These muscles aren't just for show. But first, I gotta get some food.
I like this.
Yeah, you just get it, Professor. This is my favorite.
These are the two that I needed to get their motivation up.
You saw it too, didn't you? The boar's true nature. He's hidden his desire for revenge pretty well. But now it's stirred up.
Now it's pretty much reared its ugly head.
Well, regardless. That girl's starting an all-out war, isn't she? But an enemy is an enemy, no matter who they are. Don't let compassion for her get in your way.
I don't normally have a problem jumping into a fight, but it feels strange going up against my father. We aren't especially close, but he's not an opponent I'd want to face. I'd almost rather fight a monster. I hope he's not part of the group coming to attack Garreg Mach.
I thought we'd all be really busy with assignments and getting ready for graduation. But now that things have turned out like this, I guess there's nothing to do but fight.
If I could go back to last month and throttle my carefree self. Now it turns out Edelgard is the Flame Emperor and the new Adrestian Emperor. And she's striking out against the monastery, with the full force of the Imperial army behind her. We gotta beat her at her own game, for our sake as well as Lady Rhea's.
I guess I could talk to Claude this once.
The Empire is moving quickly. Edelgard must have been preparing for this for a while now. If you really think about it, she must have been planning for this even before you got the Sword of the Creator. Of course she was always a step ahead of us. We were blinded by the ball and the Battle of the Eagle and Lion and everything else.
I whooped her then, and I'll whoop her now.
What is Edelgard even trying to achieve? She wants to destroy the church so badly that she'll take on anyone who doesn't fall in line? I don't get it.
It's a hard thing to accept.
I just can't believe she'd start a war over it. Not to mention using such nasty tactics to get her way. Could Captain Gerald's death have also been a part of her plan? Don't you go and die on me, Professor. Captain Gerald would never forgive you.
There are always small power struggles, still. It has been hundreds of years since all of Fodlan was consumed by war. I didn't actually think it would come to this. I feel as though I'm not in my rightful place. I cannot protect the things I should. Professor, if I survive this war, I wish to return to my homeland, to the land of my king.
Might as well.
The glory of progress.
We're falling behind. I don't know that we can keep up with the new Emperor. To think that she was able to raise an army of that size right under our noses. However hard we fight, I give us a 50% chance of winning. The enemy has too many advantages. We must make careful preparations.
We'll be fine.
It's my job to protect Lady Rhea. I've got to do it, and I got to do it as best I can. And if that means I got to die for her, then I will. How could Edelgard treat Lady Rhea like she's the bad guy? She's never been anything but nice to everybody. I just don't get it at all.
I don't get it either.
I am owing big debts to Duke Garrett of the Empire. He is the Minister of Affairs that are foreign. He is a friend of Edelgard. He is to her side. What should I be doing?
Edelgard became emperor and raised an army, huh? Who knew the kid had it in her? I mean, yeah, of course, I knew she'd be emperor eventually, but the more I think about it, the more surprised I am. I wonder who's gonna win.
Us or her, you mean?
But would it really be okay for Edelgard to win?
Professor, what actually happened last month? I can't keep up at all. Edelgard is the Emperor, and she's declared war against the Church? So now we're at war? What is going on? I really don't understand any of this. What should I do?
Nobody knows.
The Empire's aggression cannot stand. But if we are going to attack them now, we must be honest with ourselves about our chances of success. It goes without saying that I will fight the Imperial Army with everything I have for as long as I am able. But House Gloucester's territory is adjacent to Imperial lands. Let us proceed with caution.
Things must be pretty crazy in Fargus about now. My father must be beside himself. I don't get it. Why did Edelgard make enemies with the nobles?
For the sake of her ideals?
Ideals she believed in so much? She was willing to start a war over them? Those must be some lofty ideals, to say the least. I hope this all gets sorted out quickly and safely. I'm worried about my father.
Once the Imperial Army reaches the monastery, we'll have no choice but to fight.
What's going to happen to us?
Everything will be alright.
I believe you. With the knights on our side, and especially with you, Professor, I know we can do this.
His Highness calls for the head of Edelgard. For me, that is cause enough to fight.
You're truly alright with that?
The hatred of His Highness is also my hatred. Any other feelings I may have are irrelevant. And if Edelgard was responsible in any way for the tragedy of Duscur, that is something I cannot ignore. If that is the case, then she is my enemy.
At times like this, I just feel so anxious, you know? But you'll watch out for me out there, right, Professor?
Oh, half of the Empire's 6 great noble families have declared their support for Edelgard. Of the other 3, Lord Vestra was assassinated. Hubert, his son, will succeed him. Bernadetta's father, Count Varley, is under house arrest. His wife is now supporting Edelgard. And my father, he was stripped of his role as Prime Minister. As a result, House Eyre has lost all of its power, all of its lands. We have lost everything. What do I do?
How dare they threaten the goddess? Such a vile act cannot be forgiven. There is no need to worry, I promise you that. Divine punishment will surely fall upon them. In the days of yore, the goddess would grow angry with such insolent fools and roast them in ALL.
I'll talk to Dimitri last.
I guess we have no choice but to fight, have we? Oh, but why would Edelgard do something like this? I'm sure we'll be all right, though, Professor. The goddess will keep us safe.
Professor, can we really defeat someone who is willing to turn their back on the world just to uphold their own beliefs? I've spent my whole life running in fear, and now
We can't win. Well, we can win this together.
Surely Surely we can win if we rely on each other. Right, Professor?
Professor, war is breaking out again, is it not?
Again?
There was a truly terrible war once upon a time. I never wanted another war. All we can do is steel ourselves for the fight ahead.
This one? You're all set. See you again soon. I'll have that girl's head. Just you wait.
I'll just walk away now.
Singing is so much fun. Everyone should enjoy themselves while they're doing it. I hope this song reaches the goddess's ears.
Well done. You have my thanks.
Interesting, it's true that a lot more people have been coming and going as of late. Perhaps we can secure new information if we capture someone from the Imperial Army. Thank you, this is quite helpful. Alright, so I'm going to end it there. I don't know what's going to happen next time. I don't know if there's going to be any paralog battles or whatever. If there are, I'll see you then. If not, next time will probably be the main battle of Chapter 12. So until then, I'll be seeing you.